Hey y'all, it's Jamie. This is Dig It Homesteading, and today is one of those days that's far and few apart. That I have the day off, and I have absolutely zero plans or obligations of things to get done today. So I'm gonna walk around and try to assess where the garden is at and what space I can utilize to do fall planting. A lot of this stuff will overwinter or just harvest throughout the winter that I'm going to be planting. And I do have some starts, but I do have some things that need to be direct sowed as well. And just finding the right space, because if you haven't seen my other videos, I have two very large raised beds and then some in-ground space, and we're continuing to go that way and add more beds. Well, like everybody, this summer's been brutal, so we haven't been putting together any more raised beds. So hopefully soon we can do a build and at least get another one in and make more space. That's always the problem, not having enough space to grow stuff. So I get creative and I plant in my rose garden, and then I also plant in my front yard. And I've grown everything. I literally have asparagus growing in my garden, my rose bed right now. Had all kinds of summer squash growing in my front yard. You know, needs must kind of thing. But I've also been avoiding coming out here and walking around and enjoying and assessing and seeing where the garden's at. So it's a little extra wild now because I haven't been doing much. Around here we just have survived this winter, this summer. Both my husband and I work outside at our jobs, at our day jobs. So working outside and then coming outside to work outside, or trying to find the 1 hour or whatever I can work out here has been all I could do this summer. So it's got a little wild, which I don't mind wild, but it's time to reassess and weed, because I haven't weeded a whole lot, like at all, this year. Which the raised beds didn't really need much weeding. It's just the other areas. The in-ground beds are jungles, so they need a reset. So I'll take you around and show you a little bit of what I'm finding and where I'm at on finding places to plant things out, because it's still so warm here. I still have summer crops going. This area is my rose garden, and all of that is a bunch of asparagus, and then those two high up, I believe those are going to be some weeds, just like the ones over here. So I'm kind of thinking I want to go through here and whack these back now, because I don't want those weeds to go to seed. Although I do feel like I'm about to get some asparagus seeds, so we shall see. I definitely need to get those out of there. And there's just tons of grass. These pretty but invasive weeds. Like I have literally just gave up on this area. I had some things planted through there. There's a rose bush there, and it's bloomed recently and died back. So there's just a lot to get caught up on, and we're actually down to the high 80s, feels like 90 something, which is a huge break from what we've been having. All this pepper vine is just craziness. All these are hot pink 4 o'clocks that have reseeded and are growing back as well, which, as you can see, they can be invasive, but I don't usually mind. If they're in the way, I just yank them out. I had a watermelon growing here this summer. We couldn't keep up, so no little personal watermelons for us, but we might get canary melons if the chickens will leave it alone. And here is where I had some comfrey, and I think even my comfrey has succumbed to this weather. So I might be looking for some of that. But look, lovely little rose from Sister. For Sister. I'll have to let her know that her roses are blooming. But yeah, I'm really thinking about taking this area, cleaning it out, and going and getting some compost, which I need to throw compost around on them anyway on the asparagus. But getting this area prepped because I have a ton of garlic that I'm going to want to plant out, plus onions and leeks. And I just don't have that much space between here and the front bed. I'm thinking we might be okay with what I want to grow, and if not, we'll just make do. And then this area, I don't know how far you can see because I'm super much in the sun, but look, all this okra, that's got to be 10 foot tall, and they're still going strong. They do keep getting some aphids at the top, aphids like that. Hopefully you can see. And I just been hosing it. In the evening, I'll go through and hose it. You can possibly see there's little ants in there, and they harvest the sweet nectar off those ants. So if you can hose them off and keep them hosed off for a few days in a row, then I find that they just kind of go away and don't get back up. It's been maybe once a month or so ago that I had aphids, and now they're back. But okra's still going, which I'm very grateful for. And then, of course, the tomato area, which the weeds are growing up like crazy because I didn't do anything with them, because I usually don't have tomato plants this far into summer and now fall. But I've left them as an experiment because they started blooming again. And usually by now, all the tomato plants are dead because we get blight and other things that just murder our tomatoes. There's some marigold seeds that I need to come and collect. And then this all through here is Malabar spinach. And that is what you collect to eat. And look how pretty that red is. So this is the red variety because the stem is red. And these are mucinogenic, so they have the kind of gel-like okra, but it's not as thick as okra. Let's see. You see, it's kind of like a succulent leaf, between a regular leaf and a succulent leaf. As you see, it's not leaking out and slimy all over my finger. There's a tiny bit. If I really push, I can get a little bit of a string, but it's quite nice, even raw. So if you have an issue growing spinach because of heat, this is a good option. And then these peppers and basil. This one just needs to come out. And then I had all my jicama in here when I backfilled, so I need to backfill this again. I'm getting lovely peppers again. They did get stopped for a while. I mean, that's how bad the weather's been, y'all. The heat has even stopped peppers and eggplants from producing, which is absolutely crazy to me. Look at this one. That's awesome. That's what I wanted to see. I want to see all these, which they're still struggling, but I wanted to see if I could get at least one more harvest. I just went through and yanked a bunch of basil because sister got a bunny, which I'm thankful for because she can put her bunny poo out here in the beds and fertilize my garden. Y'all, look at all these peppers. They're loaded. That's why they're all falling over. Can you see? They are absolutely loaded. That is awesome. Oh, let me see if I can get over here. And there was a hornet's nest over here. I got stung twice the other day. Yes. Oh, look at the lovelies. So now I don't feel so bad for just neglecting. But that is a purple bell pepper, so I need to harvest it because it's turned purple. Oh my Lord, y'all, we have some babies, and I think that's where they've made their nest. So let me go get sister. Okay, sister, you need to come see if you can find what I found.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
I'll give you a big hint. It's in this bed. Go have a look. Go see if you can find it.
What is that?
What is it, sister?
I don't know what that is.
What is it?
Weird looking eggs.
Well, yeah, where would those eggs be coming from?
I wonder. Are one of y'all freaking... Wait, are those actually from the chickens?
Well, I didn't put them there. Unless you started laying eggs or something. I don't know how they would have got there. Are they different colors or all one color?
They're all one color.
And what color are they?
A color?
They're the green ones. That new layer that you thought laid its first egg yesterday has been laying for a while. A very, very long while.
Y'all, that's...
See how many there are.
There's 8 of them.
8 eggs. So that baby's been laying for
9.
at least 9 days. Maybe every other day. So now you have a new place to come look for eggs. Show me, show me. Look at all of them. Yo, she definitely wasn't expecting that. That was great. I'll show you the chicken, I think it is. That one right there is Granny, and I keep chasing her out of that area. That's when I got stung probably a week ago because I kept chasing her out. And her mother is Becky in there, and she is the best broodiest chicken. First year we had to stop her from being broody, and then this last year she hatched all these eggs. And that chicken, which we don't know the breed, and him as an Easter egger, a lovely Easter egger, created that lovely bird, which now lays green eggs, which I was so hoping for, and sister was surprised by yesterday when she thought she found her first green egg. So she went and floated them and rinsed them a good bit. This one could probably use a little bit more rinse, but this one is a very light blue, and this one is almost green. So we might have 2 different hens that are laying colored eggs. How cool is that? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab these while I'm out here thinking about it. And they're tiny, but they're purple, which I think is cool. And then that'll give this plant the memo to go ahead and produce some more. And maybe I can get some fertilizer on it so it can make them bigger. But that is what I'm trying to avoid. Those are the boogers that stung me, and they've started building their nest back. Gonna have to eradicate that because that's right here at my bed, and that is a no-go for me. I don't mind if they're in the bed. I just don't want them building here because then they get angry and want to sting me. But here, all of this vining plant is the canary melon, and I've worked out my chickens are pecking them things open because they get out. They get out when we aren't looking, and they peck open and eat the whole melon. So we're gonna have to devise a plan. But you can see we've got eggplants all through here. I kind of plant to make it a jungle. I kind of like the jungle look. And then it also hides my weeds. Hides my plants from weeds. Oh! I have had the worst year trying to get eggplants. That is my first white eggplant. And it looks like there's a little bit of bug damage. But I am so excited to see that. There's more! Y'all, see, now I'm excited. I don't know. Yep, there's another one. Look at that pretty purple. I don't know if y'all can see. But how exciting is that? I do have an orange one in here too. But I'm trying to be very careful not to aggravate these wasps. Oh, we might have one over here. This one here. I'll have to keep an eye on this one. Because I do have orange ones in here, but I planted them densely. And I have backfilled around them with manure and compost. So we will have to see what happens. This is exciting, y'all. Every time I've been watering this summer, I keep having dragonflies come and dunk themselves and whatever it is I'm hand watering. And it's been quite amusing. As soon as I turn this on, oh, there we go. Hopefully you saw that one. It didn't go quite all the way in. But I filled this bin up and had, oh, there went some. Look at them. They come and take baths in my sprayer. It's like they instantly hear it and come fly over as quick as they can. But I fill this bin up and keep it out at an angle with rocks in it. See, I got lovely rocks in there, and I keep this filled up. For one, my dogs come out here and drink it, but for another, I keep it out for wildlife. I find frogs and different lizards and all kinds of wasps drinking out of it. So I've just kept this out, and I have one more. Look, there goes a wasp now. But I have kept water out here for my wildlife all summer long. Okay, this is interesting. I did not plant zinnias here, but they sure have planted themselves here because I have plumeria in here. Always interesting to see what happens in the garden. But there's my lovely plumeria patch, living its best life. Only this tall one bloomed this year. So we still have to figure out what the rest of them are. And there's a lot of damage control going on this year because they did get damaged by the freeze, but they are looking gorgeous. This one not so much. I don't know what's going on with that one, but the rest of them, look at those lovely leaves. I want to point this out too. You might have saw it a minute ago, but these are impatiens that volunteered. You know, it says annual on all the impatiens I've ever seen. And I did have an impatient here last year, and I never ever expected to see impatiens pop up. But you can see it's quite interesting. Look, comes straight out of the ground right there. Too cool. I've got some onions back here that are kind of being knocked out, just some green onions, so we might need to do something about that. But there's so much to be done. This is the Queen Siam Thai basil, and this is one that you can use after it's gone to seed. And I don't really use it a lot because I don't cook Thai, which I probably should. But I've heard people use it for tea, and I'm going to have to try that. Lovely bumblebee. It's nice to get back out here and be able to enjoy what I've done. So I'm going to get to work and get some things, whatever looks harvestable, harvested, and make a plan. I don't know what I'm going to do here, but my next bed will be over here somewhere. I might leave a big spot in between so I can back the tractor in to backfill my dirt on both sides. And so I don't know what I'm going to do about tomatoes for next year, which I do need to grow more of. So we shall see. This is more of just an assess where we're at. As you can see, it is a jungle, which again, I'm okay with. And I'll show you one more thing. If you've been following along, I had some birdhouse gourds here that I've already harvested, and I didn't know if my cuckoozy squash was going to make it this year. This is a 15-foot gate. I think the cuckoozy squash made it. So, fingers crossed. We'll get some before we have a first frost, which should be in 2 months. So we shall see. Stay tuned and hit subscribe if you want to find out if it makes it or not. Okay, so first things first is I definitely need to backfill this area, which I did save some mushroom compost for. I need to fix this because the chickens have found it as their spot. And then work on clearing out that area, and I'll probably go get some bags of compost or manure and compost or a combination of different kinds and just backfill that area and then amend it and use that as a bed again. But I also have some seeds here that I'm going to try to find places to put. Cylindra beet. I want to try the Detroit beet gold, maybe some Hamburg parsley. I definitely have some carrots, but we love rutabagas, white turnips, purple tops, more carrots. I don't really do well with carrots here. I might need to wait for the carrots. I don't know yet, but we shall see. All the lovely things we want to grow. So many lovely things to get grown around here, and not enough beds. If you have suggestions, I'd appreciate it. We're always ever expanding this backyard and ever changing this backyard to make it how we want it. And I do have some pots, so I might try some carrots in pots. I don't know. They just don't do too good for me. So if you have tips for that here in the south for growing carrots, a variety or anything like that, please let me know down below. I'm interested in trying all the things. And I have a lot ahead of me to get done, so I'll leave you for now. And again, we thank you for spending time with us and appreciate all the things you do. And for now, love you, bye-bye.